of emotional blunting. We've all had the story of patients who said that they didn't quite get the same enjoyment, they weren't as depressed, but they were a bit flat. So Price and Cole, along with Goodwin, actually did this study that was published in the British Journal of Psychiatry about 2-3 years ago, where they, again, it had to do with an online capture of information. And they asked for people to, essentially a qualitative research piece. So they asked for people to describe their experience of being on an SSRI. And they pulled the data and essentially were able to sort into a number of different constructs, one of which was this lack of emotional pleasure during treatment. And they went back and looked at some of the work that had been done actually in Arizona, where the Arizona Sexual Experience Questionnaire was developed by Pedro Delgado and others. And this was actually a small sample of 15 people who had completed the Locke's Emotional Intensity Scale. And what she and others noted was that there was a bit of an overlap of you can see the black lines going down. So this is during the treatment. There's a lack of ability to cry, to feel irritation. There's a lack of interest in sex. There's a lack of erotic dreams. There's a lack of creativity, and so on. And 80%, a very small sample, but just a kind of pilot, said that these people seem to have sexual dysfunction paired with an emotional blunting. And people went on to discuss the lack of emotional pain, this restricted range of emotional experience at both ends, flattened emotional responses. I should be so happy, my daughter's just got engaged, I should be so happy, so-and-so. Is this part of the therapeutic effect? Does it in fact influence discontinuation more often than we realize? So a number of these questions have been asked, but this is probably, I think, one of the most creative and interesting studies that I'm going to talk about today. Catherine Harmer is a psychologist and researcher in Oxford who's collaborated with Goodwin amongst others. And she did a very interesting study where McCabe is the first author, using fMRI, functional magnetic resonance imaging, to show the neural response in healthy volunteers who took 7 days of an SSRI, which was citalopram, or reboxetine, which was the prototype for a noradrenergic reuptake inhibitor, or placebo. And the subjects actually had a chocolate experience and they had a moldy strawberry experience, which I'm not going to tell you about. But the chocolate experience was their response and their neuroimaging change in the sight of chocolate. And then the second part was the dripping of chocolate onto their tongues. So you got the sight and you got the sight plus the taste. And compared to before the treatment,